Hi,
Yo,
Bessie.
yo.
Every time. How are you? Welcome to Monday Night Besties. No, Tuesday, not Monday.
Tuesday Night Besties. We got to get used to it.
Get it right, Amanda. I'm Amanda Savage. I'm excited to talk about tonight's show. Who are you?
I am DC Hendricks. Pleasure to be with you all. And I figured that we would start with, I think, what is the most exciting news of wrestling for the past, I would say the past few days. It's been like nothing but like terrible news all over the timeline. People losing their jobs. But we had a debut tonight. Go ahead and tell the folks, Amanda, what happened tonight. There it is.
Let's
MDB.
go. Ricky Starks is
MDB.
in NXT. MDB is on it. He knows
Ricky
who's
motherfucking
here.
Starks. Let's go.
It's pretty Ricky. I'm so excited. I actually just oh man, I love Ricky Starks so much. What was that? Is it Wrestle Dream? 2 years ago then? Yeah, because it wasn't this year. It was 2 years ago. But he had some kind of relatively interesting but not that exciting match on Collision the night before, and I was so excited to see him that I feel like I inspired other people to chick pop around me for Ricky Starks, and that is one of my favorite fandom moments when you can basically wait, what? Okay, sorry, I just got really distracted by the comments. But so that's my favorite when you're at a live show and you join up with other people. For me, it's usually other women. But yeah, we all went for Ricky Starks because it was just so funny and his entrance is iconic.
He said, "Don't let the good looks fool you."
No, don't let the good looks and the expensive fragrance.
Yeah.
Yes, I need to know what the expensive fragrance is, by the way. Can we have that battle in the comments, by the way? Because I've had a huge argument. How much is too much to spend on a fragrance? What do you guys think?
I get Usher cologne.
Okay.
So I wear Usher, and that's about $40. So
okay,
definitely not. I don't think that's expensive fragrance, but
yeah, I am. I love a finery from Target. I love a $14 body splash, but then I am a true degenerate. My signature, what I consider to be my fragrance, is Tom Ford, and
wow.
It is Lost Cherry, and that does suck. So that's a birthday, that's a Christmas, that's It's definitely not once a year, honey, because those are too expensive. And I also sometimes, such as in the past few years, have downsized. So even on the birthday, it's still the less than $1 mil, baby. $80 for the little purse. Some fancy woman is running around with that in her handbag, and that's my fragrance for the year. So you gotta treat yourself sometimes. Fine leather goods, high-end fragrances. Ricky Starks is here. He's gonna bring that luxury to NXT, baby. I'm so excited.
I got to give Amanda credit as she was the one. I watch for a while. I won't say it now because I watch AEW every week now. But I would say, so we've been doing Monday Night Besties, what, a year?
Yeah.
It was Monday Night Besties and went to Tuesday. So about a year, I would say.
Yeah.
So when we first started our show, I didn't watch any AEW. None. But Amanda used to tell me about this guy named Ricky Starks. You should check him out. I think you would like him. And I've finally just started watching him at AEW and became a fan. So I got to give credit to Amanda. She's the one who told me about this guy from the beginning. So credit Amanda Savage over here. Oh, I guess would be over here. Yeah, over there.
Here I am. There. You know what I would say is that there are some pretty solid, if you could pick out one person who had an actually intriguing body of work in AEW where I'm actually yeah, good, you wrapped it up. I actually think it would be Ricky Starks because some of his feuds are so iconic. I don't know, that Danielson, that's the strap match, right? The Danielson strap match.
That was the one I seen. Yep.
Shit. Yeah, I'm so excited to see Ricky Starks, and it's similar to that Ethan Page thing where it is it's someone who probably Oh man, that's weird. I don't mean to make a learning tree reference. I'm not trying to make any shade. That's not what I'm saying. But this past spring and summer, we had a little farm outside, and it occurred to me that I planted 2 plants too close together, and one was just taller, and it was just getting all of the light and everything, and like the water. And then the little baby, it was jalapenos, and it was like another like fancy hybrid pepper situation that never came to fruition. And I was like, you know, those jalapenos were just too tall and they were blocking the little peppers. It doesn't mean that either one is wrong. It just means they didn't get what they needed. And so I think that Ethan Page is a great example, and I can't wait to see what Ricky Starks has to offer in WWE. I'm actually really stoked that he's in NXT because I think that he has, it's really like the ability to take the character that we already know. It's the same thing as Ethan Page. I don't want to keep belaboring the point, but it's like to take the character that we already know and just be able to have that time to kind of like craft it in front of this very intense global scrutiny. I don't think people have a lot to negative to say about Ricky Starks' work in AEW. So I don't think there's like this guy. I feel like there's kind of pushback sometimes where people don't think they should go to NXT instead of the main, like, they should go to the main roster. I don't know. I think NXT is perfect for Ricky Starks. I'm so excited.
I agree. And you see a lot of that. You see a lot of that with Jordan Grace. And if you guys have any thoughts, the comment section is open. We welcome most comments, not all. But if you are commenting on what we're talking about, NXT, then go ahead and send it in the comments, YouTube, Twitch. We're live on Facebook as well. So go ahead and send your thoughts in. Ricky Starks and NXT. What I love about this is literally just last week. So last week's show, we literally just got done talking about how the men's division needs some help. It needs to catch up, right? Yes. The women's division is booked so well. There's so many players in the women's division on NXT where the men's division needs it. Desperate for new talent. There it is right there. Black Hawk Walker, shout out to you. Definitely needs it. And it's perfect timing. We just talked about this last week. That's why you need to come here. We know what we're talking about. And it's just in time. It's really quick, though. Like, admittedly, like, WWE moved quick as hell on the signing because, like, and I think it was Denise. I want to give Denise Salcedo, is that her name? Yeah. I want to give her a quick shout out because she tweeted exactly my thoughts about him debuting tonight. And she said, I think she tweeted, I was expecting Ricky Starks to be in WWE. I just wasn't expecting it tonight.
Yeah.
It was perfect reaction.
I wasn't either.
Where it's literally a go home show for Vengeance Day this weekend on Saturday. So like you're not expecting nothing too crazy, like maybe something to have, to get us talking, like the way the show started with Bayley and them adding Cora Jade, making it a fatal 4-way for the NXT women's title. That's the stuff you expect on a go home show to get you talking, but not a debut of a superstar from the competitor, I guess, so to speak, competing company, and Ricky Starks. So like, to me, this is huge. The men's division needs it, and I'm ready. This is exactly what I've been talking about and complaining about for months.
I'm very excited.
Yes.
Then
Oba Femi, Ricky Starks, stand and deliver. Book it. Let's throw him in. Is his name still going to be Ricky Starks?
I don't know.
That's what, and the same, like you gotta keep the same music too. Like I don't know, my mind's already. Yes, you gotta keep. My mind's already.
Music makes me sad. Like if I'm assuming it's not. I don't know. I'm not the biggest music off the top of my head person, so I don't know if Mikey Ruckus did that music for AEW. I don't think. I feel like it is though, because I feel like I've thought before, oh my God, that's so good. Like, of course. But I can't. Rebel. Ricky Starks.
That was my thought, MDB. That's the same thing I was thinking.
I will say, I think it's possible, and I don't know. Again, I don't have any backstage dirt. I don't know these types of things. I'm just like, I don't know, whatever. We're not gonna use labels here on Tuesday Night Besties, but let's just say I have a specific set of memory skills that I have a hyper fixation on wrestling, and I can remember things. And I just remember that around the time Jade debuted, I read a tweet from Mikey Ruckus, is the music guy from AEW, and it was like, it was not super negative. It wasn't even super obvious. It was just like, you know, you learn lessons in business, like you learn things. Like it was something that just made me ping. And then her debut, the music is not her AEW music, but it might as well be her AEW music, right? Like you get the same vibe. You kind of get what, like, you get the same flavor for sure. It maybe isn't a chicken fajita burrito, but it's a chicken burrito, baby. So like, I don't know if they'll just end up making it, and I don't know how you like secure that kind of intellectual. I don't know anything about that. I don't know if business lessons were learned so that perhaps that cannot happen. I don't understand any of that, but I will be curious. And then, okay, MDB says that's his literal name, like his government name. So
there we go. So it's Ricky Starks. There we go. So we at least get that, but he's definitely going to be Def Rebel.
But will not necessarily that, but will WWE allow him to use his literal name because nobody else gets to use their literal name? I guess Ethan Page did, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It probably depends on how they kind of have negotiated.
Plus, I think even the announce crew said
Did they say?
I think they said. So I think we're good on that part. So yeah, we're good. We're good to roll.
It's Richard Starks with the Z.
Right. with two Z's at the end.
Two Z's. There we go. Okay. I do actually now. It makes complete sense why Trick is still here. You know, I've been like, why the hell's Trick here?
There we go.
So I think that's a very real possibility. I think it could. That's actually really funny.
There we go.
I'm going to screw up so much now. Shout out to Dickie Starks, because as soon as I start, I'm going to say that. And MDB, I'll send you a 5-spot every time I do that. So
huge. I mean, like, and obviously, like, so AEW will likely get some people that WWE just released. Like really, they're, you know, a lot of people just got released from WWE. So this is, unfortunately, you know, this signing just contemplating here, but maybe the signing doesn't happen without those releases. Yeah. Like maybe those releases were to open up some money so they could have a little wiggle room for, you know, this signing, probably Jordan Grace. But, you know, nonetheless, you know, we're lucky enough in today's day and age where there's wrestling everywhere. There's so many different companies, so many different, you know, places to watch wrestling. So there are so many opportunities for all these wrestlers. And lucky for Ricky Starks, NXT is starving for talent in the men's division. So he gets a huge opportunity. And, you know, I've seen a lot of people online, oh, he's 35 years old, he should be on the main roster. There's no age on NXT. Like, you sound stupid. Like,
and Sean Spears, who's in the main event angle.
Yeah, and it's like, I hate that people, and that's what I hate. When I defend, there's a reason why, at least for me personally, why I chose to do Tuesday Night Besties. NXT is by far my favorite weekly wrestling show. By far, it's not even close. And I feel like it's one of those shows where if you put aside, you got to look through it through a different lens, because a lot of people look at it like it's the G League to the NBA or the minor leagues to baseball. And it's like, that's not the case at all. Like, these are professionals. Like, that's not a good comparison at all. So I look at that, and plus a year, he could spend a year on NXT, you know, get a championship belt, build him up, you know, kind of revamp his character, because WWE is different than AEW. Let's be real here. So I love that they started him in NXT. I really do, because putting him immediately on the main roster, that's a risk. You know, we've seen it before where people get lost quickly in the fold. Yeah. There's so many people, you can only book so many people in a certain time frame. So I love that they're starting him on NXT. That means he's going to be, you know, they're definitely going to focus on making him a top star.
I would much rather see him be a star, similarly to Ethan Page. I'd rather see them be stars in NXT than get to see them like backstage getting razzed by Karrion Kross. You know, like there's a lot of extremely big names, especially this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even, at least with the men's side of things, I think Jordan Grace is just fine to join straight to the main roster. But I think you're almost never in history. I can't necessarily speak to ever, but if you are Ricky Starks, pretend they do want to have him start on the main roster. He's now Ricky Starks competing for the eyes, hearts, and minds of fans with John Cena, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, AJ Styles, like all at the same time. Like, I don't think there's been another time that you've actually, perhaps the end of the Attitude Era, but these Attitude Era cats are still there. Like, The Rock is there, Triple H is there, Shawn Michaels is
That's
there.
what I mean. He'll get lost. And like,
yeah,
while his reaction probably still would have been pretty good on the main roster, his reaction on NXT was much bigger than it would have been on the main roster.
Yeah.
The shape and the way it happened, it was much bigger on NXT.
I just think absolutely. I always forget. Some people listen, they don't watch. So this comment is from Black Hawk Walker. It says, really rough time to be on the men's roster as a new guy. I do think it would be it's just so stacked. So I think this is the perfect place for Ricky Starks. I'm so excited to see what he does. I'm really excited that he hasn't necessarily, remember how I thought he was the ears?
Yeah.
In the shadows, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be him. It still could be. He still could be with those guys, but I don't think he is. And that's very exciting to me, because what I was concerned about was that he was getting brought in, but under like a whole new thing, like he wouldn't be the same personality. It wouldn't be the same. There is no one on television. Find me someone on any TV that does that kind of character as well as Ricky Starks, and you can't do it. I don't know. There's no one else on TV. I can't even think of someone on like reality TV who really has, because it's not, I think people who have weak versions of their sexuality find it to be flamboyant. I do not find that to be the case. I think that it is someone who loves style and cares about the way they look, and like has that. He would be the perfect person. Why am I trying to always make somebody be the dashing Cody Rhodes again? How many fucking times have I pitched somebody else doing this gimmick? I just love it. I think Ricky Starks could be the one who's like shaming you for your bad hygiene. You know what I mean? It's just like, he has such a succinct way of reading people. Like his promos are just straight reads, in my opinion. Like, it is like watching a master at work. I love him on the microphone. This is just, what has it been? We're on 20-minute mark around of just Amanda being excited about Ricky Starks. So I guess we can talk about something else.
I mean, that's the biggest story. I mean,
I'm very excited.
Yeah, very, very, very excited. He is the now and future NXT. So there we go. Yes.
Ricky Starks versus Wesley.
There's so many possibilities.
There's a lot.
And that's just the beginning. Like, there's so many. So very, very excited. Ricky Starks and NXT, y'all. Let's go.
Yes. I do think that DC said this at the jump. I think this is probably where we're at.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
I might be skipping a few steps, but let's go.
Oh, good. I'm excited. Then also the main event was another good reason why you should watch Tuesday Night Besties. It's another good reason why you should have people with hyperfixations on details in your life, okay? Because they will help you spot. No, NXT's plots. Here's the thing I like about the NXT storylines is you do not have to be a detective. Right. They are going to show you a clue, but they're going to show it to you 6 more times. Yep. So you're all right. Just watch the show a little bit. Pay attention a little bit. You don't have to have a hyperfixation. You don't. No. If you do, you'll have 6 weeks of yourself being like, that is E-Dame.
No QR codes on NXT.
There's no QR codes around here. Okay, you're all right. But Izzy Dame has been being sus for quite some time. I knew to not trust her, and she revealed herself to be involved in this scam artistry. Does their team have a name?
Not yet. No.
This weirdos.
Yeah, just the weirdos. Yeah,
they're not that weird. Yet. I just don't really.
I thought they should have just ended with Ricky Starks. To be honest, the main event was. I thought it was cool. I mean, it was a good match. That was Rich Holland's, in my opinion, his first good match on NXT. So I'll give him that. That match was actually good, but I feel like what happened after, I thought it was okay. I thought Ricky Stark should have ended NXT. That's definitely the biggest story. That's all everyone's going to be talking about. So like when that happened, and plus, like you said, like I feel like, I mean, maybe we just watch it so much and so often every week and pay attention to more details than maybe the normal viewer. So maybe we were just ahead of the curve on Izzy Dame turning on them. But yeah,
MDB, do you
definitely.
feel like it was there for too long? Or was it not?
See, I don't feel like it was there for too long. I feel
I
like
don't think
this
it was too
one,
long. I think the last week's acting was not good. I'm
yeah,
so sorry. It was really
yeah, it was bad.
ham-fisted last week. And maybe that's why, because it was about to happen. So that's the point at which you kind of like make it
Mm-hmm.
super obvious so that you're building that intrigue of like, what is she gonna do? But
Mm-hmm.
last week just made me go like, oh, come on. And then they don't have, I don't understand why I care about that team. I guess I don't know what is
Yeah,
their
I
like
don't know. And it's
motivation,
like
I guess.
none of them, like, not only have they not won a match, but like they haven't had a lot of matches. So like I need a reason, and it's early, so maybe it'll
Yeah.
happen, right? But like I don't have a reason to care about them yet, so I'm just waiting for NXT to give us a reason to care about them because up to this point they have done absolutely nothing. Like Tony D still won. Like I
Yeah.
could see if they made Tony D lose the belt or something, like then I'd be like, all right, well these guys are up to no good, and gals, they're up to no good. But like Tony D still walked out champ. So like y'all ain't even good at being bad. So like, yeah, I still the verdict is still out on this team.
I suppose it's probably just starting a longer feud with. Oh, hey, guess what? It is February 11th. I am now going to just randomly call that someone is, so it's probably going to be Brooks Jensen and Rizzo, or is there going to be like a cross family star-crossed lovers affair? Shawn Michaels loves a romance angle, bitch.
He does. He does. We didn't get
Maybe that's
any of
what we're
that
here
this
for,
week.
because there is like a three. Is that what we're here for? Like intergender mad, like so that the three and girl. Yeah, okay. I guess they'll probably just have, that's probably their program for Stand and
I
Deliver
would have
then.
liked. I think the main event would have been bigger, and I know this is like. I know this is, at least in my opinion, I know this is kind of getting old with the friends turning on friends all the time. Like you can only rewrite that story so many times. But I really feel like Stacks turning on Tony D holds a little bit more weight than what happened. Like I feel like if he screwed Tony D in that main event tonight, that would have made it a bigger story, and that would have made it feel more like a main event. Because they've been teasing that slowly as well. Like Stacks and them be getting beat up for a couple of weeks, and Tony D's been nowhere to be found, and so that's been building up.
I randomly thought when Stax and Luca Crucifino went to the back, I thought that the next time they came back out, they would have both joined Spears, so that it was the two of them as well, and it would only be Tony D and Rizzo, and that's like how they'd get to the main roster, because they'll just have two people go instead of all four. But yeah, it's I don't doubt that. We did call him MDB first called him Stacks Mahomes. Stacks Mahomes is eventually going to turn up Tony.
Stacks Mahomes.
And then Stacks is going to send Tony to the main roster in the trunk like they did Pretty Deadly.
Yep.
I mean, actually don't doubt that at all. So when that happens, we will remember this moment, MDB.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good main event though. Good main event.
Right. Yeah, it was good. It was a good match. It was like everything about it was good. Maybe I was just too high on my own supply because we just saw Ricky Starks.
Yeah, it's like we're still tripping about Ricky Starks, bro. Like I don't even care about what's going on right now. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I guess not everything is for everyone. I bet not everybody gave a shit about Ricky Starks. There's probably somebody who's watching who's like, okay, who's that?
Who is this? Yeah, you're probably right.
What we're doing right now.
Somebody like me over a year ago that has no idea about anything in AEW.
Okay. Also, I don't know if it got published yet. I think it did. I wrote something for Wrestle Talk the other day, and You know who else I want? Danhausen.
Ah.
I don't care. I don't care if you WWE haters think that it doesn't fit. It fits. You know where it fits?
Met him at WrestleCon.
Really? Was he nice?
Yes. Super
He
nice.
seems nice.
Yep. Just walking around talking to everyone.
Ugh. I just really want yeah. Oh, also, I mean, Harley Cameron's really great too, but I do think Danhausen should be on NXT. I think that Danhausen moves too much merch to sit at his house. And the thing I wrote, he hasn't been sitting at his house. He's literally done indies all over the world in the past year.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that. Danhausen's been in like Ireland, England, Canada. I think there was a Tokyo show. There was so many like it was DDT. Yeah, Danhausen's been everywhere. So just because he's not like, yeah, I don't know. Danhausen's the other refugee that I hope gets brought in.
You listening, WWE? We know you. We know you listening. Know you're tapping in somewhere.
I know you listen somewhere. Hello to whatever intern is assigned to just like troll general social media. I hope that one of you enjoys this show, and I hope you don't tell your boss who assigns you the media to listen to that you chose us, because they probably know we're mostly positive. I think you're supposed to be watching people who are like sitting in a basement screaming. And I'm so sorry for that for you. I'm glad you're here. Thank you, WWE social media intern. We appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
I don't know if that's really how it works, but I just always imagine that's how it works.
My so what was your I mean, I'm assuming Ricky Starks was. What was your best of the best?
Ricky Starks was my best of the best. What else did I like? I liked I've enjoyed Bayley's go here in NXT. Yeah. I'm usually a little bit of a main roster why are you here hater. I go back and forth. So it's hard to pin me down on which I'm going to choose, but sometimes I don't love it, but I do think that she fits in really well. And I think that the fact that I believe it as a real life storyline sort of is very beneficial because, MDB, you are also right. That's a fun and
it's making me miss having the women's NXT tag titles.
Yeah, I miss those too.
It'd be a great women's tag team champion right now in NXT. I think it'd be great.
There are
since there is none, what's the end game? Or
yeah,
that's my only thing. It's like since there's no tag titles or anything for them to go after, like what's the end game here? Because there's only singles titles, so eventually one of them has to say, "Look, like we're cool and all, but like I got to go after this title, and if I got to go through you to get it, then I got to go through you." Because both of them women are on the up. So
yeah, that's true. They do have more teams on the main roster. I feel like they perhaps at some point they meant for the women's tag titles to float like way more than they have. I think they just haven't. Oh, that's a whole nother conversation.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's a whole nother thing.
But I love them too. I'm with you. I am enjoying it. I'm just thinking long term. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like there's
it seems like some of us agree.
Agreed.
Yeah, bring them back. Bring them back. Christopher Leclerc says Bayley will be back to the main roster after Vengeance Day. She definitely will. I definitely think she will.
I've enjoyed it too. I think what I enjoyed the most tonight was just for the first time, Roxanne she made me laugh. I don't think she's ever made me laugh. Roxanne made me laugh coming out with the hugs Bayley attire and the music. That was fun. I'm not gonna lie, it was funny. She definitely, because you could tell she was waiting to do, like she couldn't wait for that opportunity. Like I wouldn't even doubt if she pitched that idea. Like, come on, like I got this outfit, I want to come out. Like I wouldn't even doubt it. She nailed it. I thought it was hilarious. To be honest, I wish we got more of that because it kind of felt like the camera turn was like too quick. Like they showed Roxanne and it was like real quick, and then back in the ring, it was like, nah, like this is, it was back to Roxanne. This is funny, like
Yeah.
So like that was funny tonight. So that was like my 1B. There was a lot of good tonight, a lot of good to pick from. But I gotta give. So a storyline I haven't been that excited about, admittedly, really popped me tonight. I really enjoyed Obafemi and A-Town Down Under's promo. That shit was funny. Look, love Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. definitely, you've been talking about it. I think you've been writing about it for Wrestle Talk for a long time about these two breaking up. I don't even know when you started it. It's been so long.
So long.
I think it's happening, though. I think it's happening. Definitely became a little bit more clear tonight that that's where we're moving towards. But I loved it. Those, obviously showing. Look, we may think some of these people in NXT are good on the mic, but sometimes when these main roster people come, they will just blow these NXT people out of the water. Now, Oba was great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But Austin Theory and Grayson Waller they made that promo. That was great stuff. Them going back and forth, and then just in the nick of time, teaming up enough to beat up Oba to get ready for Saturday. So, looking forward to seeing it all unfold and them two turning on each other on Saturday.
What's interesting is I wonder if we're going to get them turning on each other in NXT. Like the turn that I've been writing about on the 1,000,001 main roster articles is probably just going to go down on NXT after all. So that's pretty exciting. I do think that, especially for ones that are on, well, I guess they said they got transferred to Raw. So I would have just liked, I don't think that anyone, I feel like we've had some carryover with Roxanne. Like we saw her on last night's Raw. Yep. But I don't think they've made a big enough deal. I have admittedly not watched SmackDown closely for a couple weeks, but I don't feel like they made that much of a deal about the fact that Grayson Waller and Austin Theory are having a NXT championship match. Like I think
not at all.
It's kind of, so that is interesting to me in that that's where NXT is fun, in that it kind of picks and chooses when it joins real canon, and you're never exactly sure when that is. But I'm curious to see if they do have a big falling out here. Will they just show it on Raw? Like, are they going to come fight? Like, how does that play out? Or maybe just one goes to one brand and one actually goes back to SmackDown. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes. Oh, yeah. Cora Jade is going to be in TNA Thursday.
Yep.
Sergio.
So glad she got added. So
Sergio, I know.
I'm sorry, Sergio. You might be lost.
Sergio, I want to honor and acknowledge your perspective in that I get these comments fairly often, and I do understand where people have a moral qualms about participating in, providing their capitalistic coin to a company they don't agree with. The troll in me would say, Sergio, and this is from my heart, and this is for everyone, but I hope it doesn't get clipped. There is no moral capitalism, baby cakes. So everywhere you go, everything you do, you're giving money to someone evil, probably.
No matter
sorry
what,
about that.
Yeah.
Sorry, someone on that food chain is a really horrible person, and I'm sorry about that. That's unfortunate. But also, we for sure get paid to do this. You know what I mean? Like, this is genuinely our job. And I think that is, I don't want to be annoying, but I think that is a little bit of the difference when you watch Tuesday Night Besties, is DC and I are required professionally to form opinions that are not only based on our own emotional reporting. And so that's one of those things where sometimes people want to hear somebody just rage and shout out random stuff without actually having thought it through. And that's cool. I don't think there's any NXT shows that I can think of that are like that. I feel like it's usually the AEW review shows that people are like, rah, 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 and you're just like, whoa, relax your butt. It's okay. It's okay.
So clipping that. Let me see. 35 minutes.
If it still sucks, right. You're going to live, bro.
I'm marking that one for the editor. I'm marking that for the editor. I'm grabbing that. That is going to be great stuff.
But I just think that, we have a positive perspective, but we also try to have, in my opinion, analysis behind it. Yeah. My goal for 2025 is not to just think everything's great. I have to be able to tell you why I think it was great. Right. Otherwise, I am just sort of being a sycophant, and nobody loves that.
And if it wasn't, I want Amanda to be completely honest in that too.
Yeah, because sometimes I get pissed and I'm clowning. Where's Nikita Lyons? Are we on Nikita Lyons' watch? Can somebody tell me where she is? I'm gonna ask.
She was back tonight.
Did I miss her?
Yeah, you must have missed her. Yes.
Okay, what happened? You got to give me the update. Oh my God, I missed
Come
Nikita Lyons.
on. See? Yes, Nikita Lyons was back tonight. She had a backstage segment where she was eavesdropping on Zarya and Soul Rufus' conversation.
Okay.
And so she faced Zarya and she took another L. She got that F5 from Zarya and took a L. Yep.
Okay.
So yeah.
Once outed myself for having given my child a bath during the show because there was a doo-doo situation.
I hear that.
So doo-doo situations were going on screen as well.
I hear that.
Please, dear God, do not clip that one. She fought Zarya. Everyone's telling me, Amanda, why are you so dumb? And I'm sorry. I did. I gave a bath. I really did. Okay, so there we go. We're finding things out. What?
Yeah, that was my worst of the worst tonight. While I was very glad to see Zarya in the ring, they started really good at first, right? With this Nikita Lyons heel turn, they started off really good at first. They're like making her sound like this like uppity bitch at first, that just thinks, oh, I look good and I'm better. I like that though. Like, look, like own it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like own up to it. And like I was enjoying that. And then they started the love triangle thing with Carmen Petrovich and Asante. What's his name now? I don't remember. They've changed his name a couple times. I don't even know his name anymore. Adonis.
Yeah, do we still say the Adonis?
Yeah, the Adonis. That's how I know him. Started that crap, kind of turned me off a little bit. And she just keeps taking L's. It's like, that was my worst of the worst tonight. Just like you didn't even remember it. You were gone. So like, it was just one of those, it was like the bathroom break moments. It's like, yeah, Zarya's in the ring, but like, yeah, that was definitely my worst.
So
that's right, MDB.
Not on purpose on my end, but yeah, I guess so. So there was a doo-doo dilemma. That was the doo-doo dilemma of the night.
Yeah.
I don't know that she is as like a person, but I do think, so this comment says Nikita Lyons is injury prone. I don't know that, but what I do know is that like I think what you're saying is that she's been injured numerous times, and I think that's what makes someone's push very difficult if they're kind of in and out. I think the only person I've seen in the last couple years that it feels like they've been able to successfully do that, and it's an unfortunate combination, but like Damage Control on the main roster.
Yep.
If those gals were not in a faction and they ended up being just a single stars would fall back and then have to try to rebuild and fall back every time something happened, I think all three of Kairi Sane, Dakota Kai, and Asuka would be like lost in the shuffle in a different way that they're not because they're in a group. So maybe Nikita Lyons should be. Why wasn't Nikita Lyons in the group? Like, no offense, but instead of Jasmine Nix, why wasn't that Nikita Lyons? Because Jasmine Nix hasn't wrestled enough. Oh, that sounds like a strong opinion, but I don't feel that she's wrestled enough to necessitate why that third person couldn't have been someone who was not medically cleared.
You know what? You just cooked something up. Like I haven't even thought of that possibility. But now that you just put that in my head, that fits.
She's hurt though, but like
I mean, Jasmine ain't wrestled, so she could have did the same thing. It ain't like Jasmine's been wrestling.
So I feel like Nikita though depends. I feel like hers was like a knee situation. I just think that I've been writing stories about her being workout eligible, right? Like she's been able to do ring training for long enough that I think and I don't know people's medical stuff, so I don't want to be an asshole, but I do think that there is something to be said about keeping characters fresh and engaged on television, even when they are not physically able to compete. Because how many times have we seen Roman Reigns wrestle in a year versus, or even engage in physicality versus how much his star presence is able to pull forward? So I'm not like putting that on them, but I think she could have been the third hot girl. If they make a new hot girl stable,
or just have four, like
just add a new one. I don't know, just figure that out, because I do think that her her like story fits with Fallon Henley and JC Jane better. Like, we've been here, we've put in the work. Like, I put my body on the line for this. I wonder, maybe
I do like Jasmine's entrance though. She has a cool entrance.
I do. She has the cutest.
Gets in the ring and she tells the camera to come here. And she's like, nope, too close.
She has the cutest part.
Love that.
Good.
That was unfortunately though. Nikita's whole part in tonight's show was one of the worst, and then it's a tie because I don't even think, does anyone even remember the NXT Heritage Cup match tonight? Like that was just very forgettable. Like I was very excited to see JDC coming over from TNA. So like I was very excited about that. We had Fandango coming to NXT, and it's like I feel like that match did absolutely nothing for him or Lexis King.
Yeah. I don't really like that either, because I thought that's sort of like the point of it. Sorry, this comment says I hate the rule change. So Lexis King had taken away, it is not the heritage, there's not rounds rules, there's no heritage moment involved anymore.
Right.
Do you think that this okay, well, I don't know. Sometimes I try to shoot way too far in advance, but if Lexis King is supposed to be destroying the Heritage Cup, didn't we have William Regal on TV for a hot second, like basically being a wedge between Lexis King and Charlie Dempsey? So then what the hell happened to that? Because now I'm still trying to make that happen, and I'm like, oh, okay, here's what's going to happen. But like, I have no indication that that's going to happen in the future because it sort of got teased and then dropped. So
yeah,
maybe that's not where it's going, but that would be the only way that this makes sense to me. Sergio, I'm so sorry. I can't change my whole life. You know, if you want to send me some money every month to feed my kids, I'll watch whatever TV show you want and I'll send you reports about it every day, frankly. Like, really, I'm not kidding. That's not even a joke. I would give it up if someone else wants to take on this charity case, but I do think that WrestleTalk.com and perhaps unnamed additional website in the future are gonna still pay for this. The other thing is, in this economy, do you know how much fresh fruit 2 preschoolers eat in a day?
Shit, fruit, diapers.
Bro, the fruit around here, they might as well have a hard drug addiction as far as I'm concerned. Like, I don't know how much drugs cost, but I'm assuming.
I'm sorry for the viewers. I know I keep messing with my eye. I have like a cat hair in my eye and it's driving me nuts. Oh, I've been trying to get it out for like the last 20 minutes. In case
that's the worst.
Yeah.
Also, MDB says it's the Heritage Cup.
The Heritage. I did love last week when JDC pointed out about his beard. Said he had, what do you call it, airbrushed or something like that?
Yeah, he looks like his face is spray painted on.
Spray painted. He's like, it's airbrushed or something like that. Like, so that was funny, but like this week's match was terrible. But one thing I also wanted to highlight from tonight, the tag team division, tag team in NXT is it's fire right now. The men's tag team division is so good.
Are we going over into GCW time? So now an actual Effie's like, what the fuck is this show? Someone tell me. I don't know how to look at Twitch.
I was told that we were allowed to be streaming at the same time.
I thought we could keep going. Well, we can end. I don't know. I can't read the comp, so I'd have to be able to be on the GCW.
We can be quick. So I wanted to mention the tag team match. So yeah, I know we've been hard on them, but to begin the night, didn't begin the night, but Hank and Tank versus Briggs and Inamura and No Coder Catch Crew had a triple threat tag match for number 1 contender for Fraxium on Saturday. And Josh Briggs and Yoshiki are the new number 1 contenders. That was a great match. Definitely wanted to highlight that. So now we're ready for Vengeance Day. And I'm ready to see what's next for Ricky Starks in NXT. Hopefully we get a little bit on Saturday.
Yeah, well, I could sit here, frankly, and talk about Ricky Starks for another 15 minutes, but I will not. We will. What is it? It's not Seed the Floor. What is it? It's something. Seed the Floor. That doesn't sound right.
That's not it.
That's not it.
No.
Okay, well, Tuesday Night Besties.
That's right.
On that note, you have a good rest of your week, friends. We are so excited that you're here. Tell a friend to tell a friend. You can come watch us every Tuesday. You can watch us even if you don't care about NXT, because I feel like we do a nice job. Oh, it is Seed the Floor. Oh my God. Thank you.
It is correct. Okay.
Wow. Thank you. I'm going to just take that W and leave. I'm sorry if we've offended Effie. That terrifies me on many different levels. Okay. Have a great rest of your week. We will see you soon. Bye.
Y'all next Tuesday.